Hi, Statesmen Nation. We are here with Coach Todd Hafner as we preview Week 5 of the 2019 season. Crazy.
Wow.
You were like, oh, how did that happen?
We just did the preview a couple weeks ago.
I know, right? It's just like that. So, heck of a lot more fun sitting down with you this week, Coach, than last week. So, obviously, just put it all together. So let's talk about last week.
Well, it was one of those things where I thought our kids were fantastic. We played well, number one, in all phases of the game. We played well on offense. We played great on defense. We played great in the kicking game. Cam Brumbaugh had some bomb punts.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jeremiah returns a punt for a touchdown. It's just one of those things where we put it all together. We still had a couple turnovers that were, pretty costly. Didn't get a fourth down inside the 20, but I feel good about the way our team handled the delay at halftime and things like that. Came out after halftime and played really well. I'm proud of the kids. I'm proud of the coaches, and it was a much needed victory last week.
Right. Well, halftime, you guys said you implemented this, halftime snack, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, you had a longer break, so you probably actually got sit down for a 5-course meal then and everything. So
last week in midweek, we saw the chance that there was going to be a thunderstorm, and anytime you see that, the lightning. So we actually, we had our regular stuff, our granola bars and our crackers and things like that, but we actually took stuff to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches this week, and so our kids at halftime. Because we were delayed about 45 minutes to an hour, they had time to make themselves a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And did that make a difference? I don't know, but we're going to do it again this week.
Yeah, right, exactly. Everybody peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yep. The whole thing just played out well. I thought our kids handled everything really well, and they played great.
Definitely. You talked about a couple of things, but I'm sure execution has to be a huge word in all of that, and the keys to success. To actually, run it for, I'm going to say 300, roughly 300, 300
just
yards,
over 300,
just over 300. Hadn't done that all year. Something obviously clicked.
Well, I think the biggest part about that, and Coach Stewart's the one that brought this up to me, we only had one negative yard play for -1 yards.
Right.
So we weren't losing yards, we weren't putting ourselves behind the chains, we were always, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and then for us, that's the biggest key. We just can't go backwards. You can't put ourselves in 2nd and 14 and things like that, and we didn't do that the other day. And so we were able to stay ahead of the chains. We were able to put ourselves in manageable 3rd downs, and I thought that was a huge key to sustaining the ball, because we held it for almost 35 minutes of the game, and making sure that their potent offense wasn't on the field as much as they wanted them to be. And I even read a quote from their coach that just felt like there were times that their offense was on the boundary for a half hour, and that's what I like.
Exactly.
That's what we want to do. Right. And so I thought our quarterback played really well. I thought Alex stepped in and played great. And he'll be our starter again this week, and so we feel good about that. And defensively, again, we're so young in the secondary, but those kids made plays the other day, and it was really fun to see them mature and really start to play well against a very good football team.
Yeah. Speaking to Alex a little bit, you don't want to make it too complicated for the backup when he has to step in and such. I know he's ready and everything, but this was, as you said, straight up William Penn, smash mouth football, all of that. We only threw the ball 3 times.
We did.
Maybe it was a situation of saying, go away from air raid. I know that's my word. I just want to get a chuckle out of you, but just getting back to basics, and obviously, again, everything had to work out, but that's kind of looked like, okay, well, we went back to what has worked for us in the past, and.
Well, and again, I think the biggest part of that is, it's not that we don't want to throw the ball more than 3 times. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I think that, us being in 2nd and 5 and 3rd and 2, as opposed to some of the longer yardages that we've put ourselves in the first 3 games, didn't lend us to have to do that. So we were able to throw the ball when we wanted to throw the ball. Tyler Phillips made a huge catch on 3rd and 7, down going in right at the end of the 3rd quarter. And then obviously Adrian made the great catch on the touchdown pass from Alex. But, it's just one of those things where we were in a good rhythm. Tyler did a good job calling plays. And we put ourselves in manageable situations the whole day, and because of that, we were able to have success on offense.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we'll flip sides here, talk about a Central Methodist team that is improved. Every year they seem to get definitely a little bit better. 2-2 doesn't seem to be an exciting record, but they gave Grandview fits a couple weeks ago. Had them, I think it was only like 14-7 going into the fourth quarter, something like that. Yep. And they lost also to a Culver Stockton team in overtime, which Culver Stockton very, very improved squad. So let's talk about the Eagles.
Very much improved, and much improved from a team that, let's not forget, beat us last year. And so, they have a dynamic quarterback. They have a really good running back. I think was the conference player of the week last week, rushed for over 200 yards. Defensively, they're very aggressive. They're very physical. So again, it's gonna come down to basically our offensive line and their defensive line, who can control the line of scrimmage, and then for them, we have to make them one-dimensional. We have to make them, we have to do a good job shutting down the run game, making them get in a situation where they're behind the chains and where they have to throw the football, and we can implement some of our pressures and some things like that. And again, we have to be good. And I say this a lot, but last week, the way Cam Brumbaugh punted the football really was a huge advantage for us. And I think that, us putting ourselves in good situations and backing them up in the special teams game and, with our kickoff game, with touchbacks and things like that, I think is going to be a huge key. And so, only one play for negative yards on offense last week. If we can do that again, we're going to give ourselves a great chance to win the game.
Definitely. Talk about their defensive side. I mean, you said obviously it's going to be key for us to match up well in the trenches, but what do they do defensively?
Well, they're multiple, and that's what's hard about it. They're hard to prepare for because, they'll line up in 3 down, then they'll line up in 4 down, they'll line up in, 3 down with a monster look. They'll line, and they do it all without substituting anybody. And so our kids are going to have to do a good job of recognizing who's who and some things like that. They're very aggressive in the secondary. They do a great job of supporting against the option, which they did last year. And they're just a sound football team. They all know where to line up. They get lined up and then they play hard. And that's for us. That's the hardest part, is that they're going to get after it. They're going to know where to go and know what to do. And we just have to do our job.
Yeah. It's a week of practice different this week, coming off the win. Different mentality for everybody, or you kept on saying, we know we're a good team, but the wins weren't coming. Now the win came. Did that, the monkey off the back and a little looser this week?
It may have been a little looser, but our football team right now is we've been practicing really good. Yeah. We execute well in practice. Our scout teams do a fantastic job of giving us a good look. Even with the multiple fronts on defense, our scout team was great about being in the right spot. Yeah. Our scout team offense is doing a good job of getting lined up and running plays that our defense is going to see. So practice-wise, we've been very, very pleased with the way our kids practice. Yes, it was probably a little looser, the monkey off the back theory, but our kids are focused at practice, and that's what makes this team so fun. Is they want to prepare and they want to play well, and I think because we've prepared the first 4 weeks like we have, it's set us up now to maybe get a few more wins here down the stretch.
Yeah, you get through murderer's row, as I always like to explain it, with ever since we got in hard. That's what it seems like, and got through there, and now it's it lightens up a little bit for sure. But again, there's no easy games. So
I don't know if it lightens up or not. The team we're playing Saturday is really good. And I'm not just saying that to try and this team is good, and they like you said, they played Grandview, who we've seen on film almost every week. They played Grandview 14-7 into the fourth, and Grandview has a very good football team. Right. So this is going to be a huge challenge for us, and we're looking forward to it. Our kids don't back down from anybody, and we'll show up Saturday night ready to roll. Yeah,
and we got that Saturday night. It's the only night game of the year for us. Talk about the planning, the execution of game day, etc. That is going to be different on Saturday versus. Are you going to let them go to the pre-concert?
No.
No, Eric Jensen?
No. Sorry, but no. But it does change a little bit. We'll get them up and we'll have a walkthrough at 10 a.m. and we'll have a little bit of a session with Coach Haugen, just a foam rolling, stretching session. in the morning and have our pregame meal and did pregame devotional and stuff around 2 o'clock, and get to the stadium about 4 and get ready to go.
Yeah, definitely. Finally, talk about keys to success this week. Turnover battle has been obviously not in our favor. We were able to get away with it last week. How important is it, as always, to get the ball back more than you give it?
Well, I think, for us, it was all about us last week finishing.
Yeah.
We didn't finish one drive. We had a fumble down inside the red zone.
Yeah.
But for the most part, our kids did a really good job of staying focused. We scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns last week, which we hadn't even scored in the fourth quarter leading up to this point. So maybe it was the peanut butter and jelly.
I'm telling you, man. I would keep implementing it. Don't break it.
But no, we were pleased with the way our kids finished. We talk about offensively finishing, but I think the way our defense finished too. We gave up the touchdown late, but
right.
that was
situation.
and it was just make sure you tackle them, and they did a good job moving it. But at that point, we were just trying to let the clock tick out. So, but our kids did a great job of finishing. It was so fun to see them excited after the game, and I think that the biggest key is we've got to continue to play well and play hard, and we've got to continue to finish games.
Definitely. All right. Well, thanks, Coach, so much. 6 o'clock start out at Statesmen Community Stadium. Definitely come on out. Sounds like there might be a chance of rain. Who knows? There's always a chance of rain lately, it seems like. So, Central Methodist, the Eagles coming to town. It should be a great game. And again, if you can make it out early, come out and see Eric Chesser. He's don't know much about him, but hey, it's gonna be a fun.
Well, I listened to his music once. I found out he's coming. He's good.
There you go.
It'd be really good.
Yeah,
it'd be a great concert.
Yeah, great atmosphere early on. So, all right, thanks again, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.